So today we're going to go through modeling this object over here on the right of the screen using a mixture of additive and subtractive modeling, just as an example. So I have OnShape open here. I'm going to make sure I'm on my Documents tab, and then I'm going to go to Create and click a new document. And I'm going to title this our Additive Subtractive Modeling, and then my initials, and then the period. Okay, so whatever period you are, put P2, P3, P4, whatever period you're in. Okay, and make sure you have your initials. Click OK. That's going to again open up a new OnShape file where I can begin modeling this object. Okay, so let's take a look at this object over here. When I'm looking at this 3D isometric drawing, what shape or what side could I draw that would eventually be able to be extended or extruded? And if you notice, again, there's more than one way to do it. So if you see something, that's fine. Just know your steps might be a little different than mine. The way I'm going to approach it is this front face right here that I'm highlighting in yellow. If I draw the outline and sketch using line tools and or rectangles, that shape, then I can go ahead and extrude it back, okay? And then what I will need to do is draw rectangles here and a rectangle on the top here, and I will have to cut those out, okay? So that's how we are going to be approaching it. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to, again, this is on the front face, so that means I'm going to draw a sketch on the front plane. So I'm going to click on Sketch, click on the front plane. I'm going to go ahead and click on the front on my view cube so that I can view it. And I'm going to actually use the rectangle tool because I'm going to show you another neat tool called Trim. Okay. So if you can imagine, this is kind of like a rectangle here. And then this is also another rectangle here. Okay. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier drawing it instead of using the line tool. It's just a little faster. So I'm going to draw one rectangle up. And again, I clicked to start it, clicked to close it, and it turned gray. But if you notice, the dimensions are going to be off. Right now at the bottom, or over here, it says it's 2.456. But if I go over to my drawing, that height needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to bring my mouse over here. And I don't need to click because my mouse is just hovering over. I can just click on 5. Oops, that didn't quite work. So don't worry if it goes away, just like it happened to me. You can go up, remember, and use that dimension tool. You can click on that edge, bring the value out, click to make it stay, and now I'm going to change that to 5. Then I'm going to click on this horizontal line, and if I go over to my drawings, it's going to be 1 and 2. So I'm going to make sure that that is an even 2, and I'll hit enter. And if it goes off the screen, don't worry. Just go back over to this view cube, hit the front, and it kind of squares it up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. All right, now I'm going to draw this rectangle down, kind of this horizontal rectangle down here, okay? And it's 2 in the height direction, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the width direction. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. And now if you notice, there's a box around the 2.8, so I can just type in 5 because that's what I know that needs to be, hit enter. And then the box now is around the 1.45. I know that that needs to be a height of 2, so I'm just going to type in 2. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to hit the front to zoom it out. Now I can go ahead and I'm going to use this neat tool. You don't have to use this. I can hit finish sketch and go to extrude right away. But if you want to, you can use this tool called trim. And really in our drawing, we don't have this line right here. So watch what happens. I just trimmed it and it went away. I clicked on this trim tool, clicked on the line, and it just erased it. And what's good is that it's still gray, and that's indicating that it's still a closed shape. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, turn it into the isometric view. I'm done drawing that L shape, which is that yellow outline, the front face. Now I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to click on that L that I want to extrude. I don't want to go forward because I want to mimic what I'm drawing here in the object. I'm going to switch the direction and go back, and I need to go back at a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to change that to 5. Looks about right. Good. Green check. All right. So now I have this object so far, and that looks awesome. But what we need to do is what we call subtractive modeling now, and that's when we are going to cut out pieces. And if I look at our drawing, I'm going to go ahead and kind of erase some things now so you can kind of clear it up. I now need to draw a rectangle either on the top, or you can even draw one on the little side here and one on the top here, because then I will extrude those, but I will cut them instead of add. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and work on this top one. And you're going to have to do one at a time because they are on different planes. So they're going to have to be different sketches. So click on sketch, click on that top face. I'm going to click on the top view. I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. There we go. But now I still need to dimension it, right? So if I notice from this corner up, that distance is 1. So that means from here to here, that distance right there is 1. And how did I get that? Again, I clicked on the bottom edge right here, and I clicked on this next horizontal edge, and I brought it up, okay? All right, now we need to measure this length of this rectangle, which is, if I go over here, it's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to change that value to 3 and hit enter. And let's just verify. It should be one more grid until the next space. So I'm going to measure. I can't get that little piece because that's selecting the whole line. So I'm going to click on this edge and then this edge. Bring it out. And look at that. That's 1. Awesome. Okay. So now that that's set, I'm going to hit finish sketch. I'm going to turn it to an isometric view again. And you can see that rectangle I just drew. Now I'm going to use extrude again. I'm still going to click on this face, but I don't want to add it this time. See how there's this term add? Instead, now I want to remove it. Okay. And let's check how far down do I want that rectangle to go. And it looks like based on this drawing, just 1. So there's already 1 that's in there. So I'm going to hit a green check because that's the correct dimension. And there you go. So far it's getting closer. We just have 1 more rectangle to draw, and that's going to be on the top of this face. Some people might even want to draw it here. That's fine. That's up to you. Okay. There's more than one way to do it. Click here. I'm going to again look at the top view so I can see it straight on. Now I'm going to click on that rectangle tool. Click on this. Make that stay. And now I'm going to go ahead and use the dimension tool. I'm going to dimension this length, which if I look at our drawing, isometric drawing, that's a distance of 1, 2, 3. So I was close, not quite. So 3 and hit enter. And now I need this dimension, which is 1. Okay. But that's not it. I need to locate where that rectangle is, which means I need a dimension. So you need to click on this edge, click on that edge, put your mouse in the middle of those two so that you get a dimension like this. And that in our isometric drawing, it shows that it is 2 away. Okay, so 2 and then enter. And that locates it. Okay, otherwise that little rectangle, it could be a little bit too far up, it could be a little bit too far down, it wouldn't be in the middle. Okay, so we are done dimensioning that rectangle. Hit the green check. Go ahead and turn it into an isometric view. I'm going to use our extrude tool again. I'm going to click on this shape, and I don't want to add it, so I want to change it to remove. And I don't want to go just 1 down, I want to go 2. So you could either type in 2, or what you could do is, instead of this being like a blind depth, which means that you have to provide the value, you can click on this and change it through all. What that means is it's going to cut it all the way through that object. Okay, and I'll click on the green check. there is our object. And we used actually both additive modeling. Additive modeling was used when we created this L shape at the beginning and extruded it back. We used subtractive modeling when we removed this top rectangular portion and that top rectangular portion. Okay? And if you need to go back and edit things, remember, you can always go back. If I need to change a dimension here, double click on the sketch once it's highlighted, then you can change it, okay? Then just hit the green check when you're done and it will automatically update it. If you don't want to see these planes anymore, remember, in your features list, go over to the planes and just click on the eyeball so that there isn't a line through it, and that just means that they are now hidden. It's really key to kind of always, or critical to keep the origin in there. Origin really centers the whole drawing, okay? And that's it for now.